All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'd like to welcome you to the first ever M4U podcast. We are the masters of controversies, coming in hot 2021. Yes. I am your host, MCV, alongside my man, MC Hiral.
What's up? What's up?
MC Neil S.
Yo, what's going
on,
guys?
MC Ashish.
What you doing? How we doing?
Guys, we're the hottest team on the East Coast, man, and we just want to bring out a little bit of ourselves to you, to each and every one of you at home listening, whether you're watching it on the phone, the laptop, wherever it's at. Guys, we want to tell you about ourselves. And not only that, we want to tell you a little bit about the game of the wedding business, how it runs down. So first off, I'd like to give you a little bit introductory about myself. I've been an MC for about 10 years. I started off in 2008, started off with DJ Sid, if you guys know who that is, he's from DSNY, old school cat.
Ooh.
And I started off as a valet, to be very honest with you. The valet that I was doing it at was at Uckburn in New Jersey. I met and I ran into Sid. And Sid was like, hey, bro, you want to make a couple of bucks? And I was like, yeah, bro, I'm down for that. And little did I know, when I was like 18, 19, I was like, listen, a few bucks can take you far away. Learn exactly how to set up the equipment. Got into many events as far as like Mandy's, Sangeets, wedding receptions, birthdays, anniversaries. If you saw me there, you know who I am. And it took me a long time to get here. And you
got to say you best part of the best team now, isn't it? Is that right?
I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to the part about getting to the best team. But I'll tell you one thing. So coming off as roadies, starting off with me working with DJ Sid, working my way to TDX, DJ Badmash. If you guys know who he is, dude came out of Long Island, became an MC with him. I was introduced to him through Raj Duffu. He's a dole player. He put me onto that team. Then from there, I moved to Magic Mike, DJ Chad, great guys, humble dudes. You know what I mean? From there, I went to DJ Suhail. DJ Suhail's an extraordinary DJ. Very underrated, only in the sense where, like, if you don't know him, you should know him. He's one of the greatest guys out there. Very humble guy I work with. Then we went to DJ Vic, another DJ Vic, not me. At that time, I was an MC. And
still are an MC.
I still am an MC, but I still got a little DJ in my heart. Hey. I still got a little DJ in my heart. You know what I mean? And I may be taking this way too longer than I should, but I'm just trying to like speed through exactly like what my background is and where I came from. And I was humbled to meet these guys at M4U, Neil, Ashish. These guys are really putting a banger together as far as production is concerned, as far as like producing these events and make sure everyone's happy. So long story short, I love this business. I'm in it for the long run, and I'm going to hand it over to my man, Neil. Hiral.
All right. Well, a little about me. Grew up listening to music, very, very loud. You know, I lived in an apartment complex. My neighbors hated me. The minute I had a chance, you know, I would go out with other companies and go set up their equipment, just sit around and watch. I didn't even care to get paid. You know, I do it for the passion. You know, how many of you guys started doing it for the passion, and it turned into a business?
100%. That's what it's about.
Yeah, you know, and when you do it for the right reason, it feels that much better, you know. So we did that for a little bit. I worked with other companies, lounge setups, you know, anything and everything I could get my hands on. Then in 2011, we opened up our own DJ company, Ecstatic Events. Ran it until 2017. Then we closed our doors. I was fortunate enough to work with MCV and DJ Vic and the rest of the Powerhouse team. But as you know, we've recently combined our forces with the M4U squad. So we are all one big family now. I mean, I think what V and the rest of us are just trying to explain is that there's a lot of talent at this table. You guys may not know the story behind it and how we got here today, because you just see us in the big lights with the nice suits and with the big crowds. But there is a lot of hard work that goes into this. And with that being said, I'd like to kind of have Neil open up his story. MC Neil S., why don't you tell us your story?
Yeah.
You know, it's not like a wedding where like I'm all over my mic just
slobbing on it. hooking up with my mic. No, but I started 15 years ago. And didn't M4U at that time wasn't really in existence. It was actually I started with Part G. Part G was my right-hand man when I first started. We started in high school. Part G was a year younger than me. We started with Jigger, DJ Jigger, and those were some.
I forgot to mention Jigger.
You were with Jigger too?
Yeah, I was with Jigger too. My bad, Jigger. Damn.
Yeah. So I think you know, a lot of people know Jigger. He's been in the game for a while. We started as a roadie. To be honest with you, I didn't even want to be an MC. I wanted to be a DJ. What intrigued me was just looking at a DJ at an event and seeing what are they listening to through those headphones. Like, it's crazy. I thought, like, you know, when I was 14 years old, it was wild to me that they were able to hear the next song before we even know what's being played. And I thought that was crazy. I don't know.
And that's a thing that a lot of people think, that we're just listening to one song.
Yeah.
But we're not.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, long story short, I mean, we've been to hell and back, but I wanted to be a DJ. I'm a DJ reject. You know, a DJ reject that, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, became an MC. And I love it. I mean, I think I'm taking a mic to the grave for sure. This is my baby. And one thing I've learned with this whole COVID and not having the events is, you know, they say you don't know what you lose until you actually lose it, right? The value of what you lost until you actually lose it. And that's something I learned, that it's this literally is my life. It's I think it's a platform for all of us where we're able to express ourselves, right? And not to not have that platform, and to go through such a rough year like we did. And me personally, I can honestly say 2020 has been the worst year for me, not only on a professional level but on a personal level. You know, going through some shit, and we're, you know, trying to get back, and using using M4U, not only M4U, but the platform of being an MC, right? When you're able to make someone feel some type of way, it's priceless. And I feel that just empowers you and makes you a better person to you know, become someone that you never thought you can be, you know, and to hit people's hearts, and to have people want to have you. It's the greatest feeling in the world. And I don't give a shit if you're a doctor. I don't give a shit if you're a lawyer. I don't care if your signature has a value. At the end of the day, I consider us as good as doctors, because we are the people that avoid our clients from going to the doctors, because we put a smile on their faces. Right?
Hey,
you know?
say that.
We put a smile on their faces, and I think it's very significant. I think it's something that, you know, it's not something that anyone can just say, hey, I'm gonna pick up a mic and do. It takes balls. And it takes courage, you know, 100%. To get out there, and people ask, oh, is it harder to do an event with a smaller crowd or a bigger crowd? I mean, I think that's objective, but for me personally, I get more intimidated with smaller crowds. You know, I like the big boys. When you have like 700-800 people, unfortunately, we're not going to have that anytime soon. Yeah. Which sucks. I mean, we just did a wedding with 100 people. Yeah. 100 people.
Yeah, try 25,
right?
Yeah. You'll try 25. You're gonna get nervous, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's a whole different game now, right? I mean, now it's about just having that mindset of just being the best, right? I'm out here to be the best. Simple. You know,
yes.
And I feel that we have those components that we need in our team. We have a championship team, you know, and we're gonna go out there and we're gonna get that chip.
100%. Yeah, couldn't agree more. You know, there is something that it takes a certain skill set to do what we do, and it's not like something that happened overnight. You know, we all practice, we work hard, we're out there every weekend, even if it's sometimes singing in the shower to get your voice ready. I damn well know all of y'all have done that. See, exactly, and it just comes down to the aspect of, you know, when we're out there, you're in your zone, you're in your element, and the world is your oyster, and you just take it on board, and you know, you just rock it with it all night long. So, I mean, story about me, been about 11 years now since I've been in the game. Started back in high school again, just like lots of us. Actually, again, somewhat similar to you, Neil, is wanting to be a DJ, but then saw there's a whole nother ball game to it, and it's like, all right, what does the guy on the microphone do? And started watching and started learning, and I'm like, I want to be that guy. And just one day, just picked up the mic, never let it down. It's all about creating that self-confidence, your own persona, becoming somebody different. And you can ask anybody, they'll tell you, I'm a completely different person on and off the mic. It's like two different genres of a person. And I think, you just got to be able to create that image of yourself that you want to portray for people to see, and to create that need, which is, why we're able to get the requests and everything that we do nowadays. Absolutely. So, it's definitely a long run, still in it to win it, and, never backing down.
It's interesting, and it's cool that we all worked with, whether we worked with the same or different people, we all worked at a different place, right?
Right.
And we all came together, and now we're under one umbrella. And I think it's amazing that we all bring different experience to the table.
Yeah.
I think that makes us stronger.
Right. And, to piggyback off that point, there's a lot of competition out here. You know what I mean, fellas? Like, there's a lot of new,
everybody wants to be a DJ.
Teams. Everybody wants to be a DJ.
Everybody wants to do it.
But what's funny? When I was, coming up through the years, I was a DJ, too. And I started off doing, Punjabi parties, hardcore Punjabi parties. I'm talking about,
still do hardcore Punjabi
parties. I still do
hardcore
Punjabi parties.
And you kill them, man. I got to say that. I've seen the emails from the clients.
Yo, thank you, bros. Thank you. Be blessed. Be blessed. You know what I'm saying? But, I'll be real with you. It's all part of the passion. You know what I mean? There are things you didn't know how to do before. You never knew how to pick up a mic before. Just like I didn't know how to do hardcore Punjabi parties. And just to clarify for everybody out there, when y'all come to me and say, listen, we want Punjabi music, please understand there are two different genres. There's Bollywood and there's Punjabi Bollywood.
Yes, sir.
So pick one.
Pick one.
Let me know what y'all want, all right? Because Mika Singh is not the same as Diljit Dosanjh, all right? Shout out to my boy Diljit. But just to cover something real quick, I think you guys also know, with so many people out here in the game, I feel like they get thrown off by picking a certain vendor based off of a price that they get.
100%. I mean, this is what I tell to lots of clients at the same time, is that in this industry, you get what you pay for, right? And whether it comes down to the production being provided or the amount of talent that a staff member may have at your wedding, you get what you pay for at the end of the day. And I always bring that up to the fact where, if you're bargaining over $500,000, that's completely fine. And I'll always hand clients recommendations.
$500,000.
500 to 1,000.
Oh, $500,000. I want to get in that.
I'd be out and be like, all right, peace. But
shit.
Anyway, so it always comes down to the fact that, listen, is that amount really going to make a difference in the overall that you're spending? Nowadays, weddings themselves cost $100K minimum. That's an average cost, right? And then it's is that little amount that you're worried about going to really make an impact overall in the whole wedding that you're going to do? And are you going to suffer a certain service that you're bringing in for your big day because of $500 or $1,000?
This is the one time of your life.
Yeah, it's a once in a lifetime thing. We do understand. People have budgets, things like that, which we always try to accommodate. But at this end of the day, you get what you pay for, and a service is provided differently whether you're paying $10,000 or $5,000.
I mean, I think I beg to differ, and I don't know if I believe that you get what you pay for in this industry. And I'm specifying I'm specifying in the South Asian industry. Being in the food business as well as the entertainment business, you sometimes, I've seen quotes of other companies that are higher, but I truly believe that even though they're higher in quote, I don't, and again, this is an opinion. I don't believe they're providing a better service. I think it's perception. I think these days everything is about perception. It's not really about the price. Yes, of course you're gonna have your budget shoppers, right? People that have a specific budget, and you respect that, right? Yeah. Everyone can't afford the same things. That's just a fact of life.
Right.
But in terms of in terms of perception, it's huge. I mean, social media. Look at Instagram, dude. I mean, they sometimes look at the people that request you, or look at the people that request V or Hiral or myself. It's on perception. Not saying that we're not good at what we do,
right?
But before they actually even hear us raw, they might be even seeing some edited video,
right?
And I mean, we're putting that up because that's what people want to see.
Yeah.
But in reality, is that the fact of the matter with every single talent in the game?
In the same marketing aspect, right? Like the same, tool, so to speak. Like, cut videos, edits and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like that puts everyone on the same platform.
It puts I'm not saying it puts everyone on the same platform. What I mean is it allows anyone to be at the same platform.
Correct.
Right? And what that does, unfortunately, for the talent that, and I'll be honest, I mean, when I feel passion when talent deserves credit, talent deserves credit. We have phenomenal talent in this game, but then we also have a chunk of talent that is, in my opinion, complete trash.
Right.
And this is just truly out of passion. If we're passionate about what we do, then we should have an opinion, right? And this opinion is more so looking at it in a macro perspective of the South Asian community. We should represent South Asians, the best we can. Yeah. And this is a platform that we have, that we have an opportunity, right, to showcase South Asians and the quality and the ability we have as a whole.
Right.
And I feel that we should be represented the right way. And do I feel that that representation is there throughout the board with all the companies? Absolutely not. But in terms of you saying having a lot of competition, I don't even believe in competition. I feel we are our own competition.
Absolutely.
And Hiral, if you want to piggyback off that, but if we got to compete with ourselves.
Yeah, internal competition is great. It just makes you want to be that much better.
That's true.
It makes you that much higher.
But I think that's what we need to focus on, right? We need to focus on how are you going to win that chip?
Right.
At the end of the day, this is about winning the chip.
But given that, right, and I completely agree and understand with both of your points, right? But Hiral, given that, for example, right, like, you're a man of business, you have other businesses running outside of, your passion, right?
Yes.
So when you see like other competitors coming up and trying to take a piece of your pie, how do you stand out?
I mean, what I like to remind my clients is, do you want someone out of high school in charge of your wedding event, right? So just because, like Neil said, are they in the same price category as us? Yes. But do they have the experience that we have? Can they troubleshoot on the spot? Do they have the available resources?
It comes down to the same thing. When you're applying for a job, like a 9-to-5 job, we want X experience, we want this, we want that. And we sort of try to translate that to some of the clients that we work with, right? It's that, do you know how to handle 500 people and keep them in control? Vice versa, things like that. And I think you brought up a great point, Hiral, that do they have the same experience that we would, even though we might be in a potential higher price bracket or something like that. That all comes down to it because, even though everybody's got to start out somewhere, at the end of the day, people always want that person with experience, and it just pays to show what it can do.
See, I'm also on the opposite side on this too.
Again, yo.
Because look, the thing is,
I'm gonna have to drink my beer now because of this.
Yeah. So you got to respect the hustle. If someone coming out of high school right now, going to high school and trying to, dude. When we first started, Parji and our mothers used to take turns on dropping us to gigs because we had no license.
That's dope, man.
So the thing is that going back to that point is
the hustle.
Experience. I don't believe just because you're in the game longer.
That's true.
I
agree with that.
I agree with that. That you're better.
But
no,
if
100%.
you're still in the game for this long, you're doing something right. You may not be the best, but you are doing something right.
Not necessarily.
That's two differences.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
That goes back to the perception point, right?
Okay.
Because I can go ahead
of the client.
Right, because I can go ahead and keep posting 50 pictures of one wedding I did,
right,
and make it seem I'm doing 50 events.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So clients don't really know the back end of it.
They don't know.
They don't know how much volume.
I feel like they're
each
not
company's
too
doing.
well educated.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
on
But if
who's
I
in
saw
the
the same
market.
bride and groom being posted 20 times, I mean, after
Well,
a point, you start to
but
realize.
I'm saying, like, one
Except
one
our
day-
bride and groom. Shout out to them. You're amazing.
I mean, one day you put.
We'll
like,
post you
their-
100
their-
times.
Their
Yeah.
one up. One day you put their center.
Okay, I
piece.
see what
It's
you're
like,
saying.
oh shit,
Angles,
it's a different
right?
wedding,
Angles.
but nah, it's
Nah,
the
nah.
same shit. You
Nah,
know.
I got what you're saying, and I wasn't trying to knock high schoolers for anything. I mean, I was there too, right? My whole thing is experience. And it's also that trust factor. Once you sign the contract, you're in with that company.
That's big.
You're also spending probably 300% more on your decorator who's going to set up and leave. Yeah, it's going to look good in pictures, but all of you folks that have already had your wedding, when was the last time you took a look at your pictures from your wedding?
Actually, I've always wondered that.
The next thing you want to also think about is now this person or this entertainment company is in charge of my event. If they do a good job, they're going to make my event great. If they don't, I hope that every entertainment company does well. It's not going to be the best, but who is going to know? The client will know. Any other entertainment specialist in the crowd will know.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you know that event could have been 10 times better. You have to pick and choose where your money goes. It's the squeaky wheel gets the oil. That's the saying in life, right? I mean, I think the DJ and the entertainment company should be the squeaky oil when you're planning a wedding.
I mean, being part of the sales side, I can say that the industry has changed, where it's leaning towards the entertainment being the number one priority for the newer generation.
Wow.
Okay.
I feel that the new generation values the entertainment more because they want that specific MC. They want
just
that
it to be lit.
Yeah, and not only that, but they have they have a following, right? Where they
Okay.
want this specific MC
Yeah.
or specific
Yeah.
DJ. Whereas, and again, I'm just comparing this because it's very interesting, right? What's valued more and stuff, and being in the food business, I feel like food is no longer as important, right?
Ah.
Even though I'll say one thing,
that's pretty
food
interesting.
food is like a make
still
or
up
break.
there.
It's still up there, but
Yeah.
I feel like the newer generation definitely. I feel like the parents care more about the food,
Absolutely.
right?
Agreed.
But again, not taking away from the bride and groom. I feel they also value food too.
Yeah.
But overall, in the grand scheme of things, I think that talent, I think entertainment is definitely top priority.
They want to be the stars of the night.
Yeah, no. I'm meaning like who they want to hire first,
But
right?
I'm saying, like, for us to put them on that platform.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, for us to give them that production where they feel amazing that night.
And they want to turn the fuck up.
And they want to turn the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what
So-
I mean? Like, and that's what matters.
And fortunately or unfortunately, sometimes some clients feel that, and it's crazy because I think we're fortunate, and I'm sure we've all been in this predicament where clients have actually decided to change their date because one of us or one of our members have not been available for that date, right?
Yeah.
And that's crazy, right? For them to juggle and move all their pieces just to accommodate one of us being available, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's crazy, and I think that's wild. But I definitely do think that the new generation
I think
is definitely leaning towards the entertainment.
Yeah, 100% I agree. But I think, going back to the aspect that someone can change their date for you, just goes back to the aspect of the passion that we all carry and the reason why we're all in this game, the reason why we're all sitting at this table today. If we had no drive, we had no passion, we had no will to want to be the best, we wouldn't be where we are. And I think that shows volumes to a lot of our clients where now, we're starting to get selected and people are becoming selective of who they want to hire because
Right.
they see the effort that we put in. They see the passion. They see that energy that, M4U can provide and our talent can provide. And that, like I said, it makes or breaks the event for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
If you got a guy who's just doing it for the paycheck at the end of the day, he's not going to care if he plays song A or song B. As long as someone's dancing, he doesn't care if the money comes in his hand.
No, you don't. You don't. And you know what? Those kind of guys, like, they'll run with, like, many in quantity, but they're not going to get quality of an event. You know what I mean? And that's what
makes
we're
sense,
pushing
yeah.
for.
Mm-hmm.
We want to make sure that we're giving quality because we have quality. We have experience. We have top-of-the-line equipment. You know what I mean? We put time, sweat, and money into this. That's the bottom line because our clients don't deserve anything less than that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's It's something that I feel like clients won't be educated about because I still have clients that are like from the 80s. I'm talking about partying since the 80s and 90s, and they'll be like, "Hey Vic, can you do my backyard party for $500?" I'm like, no. You know what I mean? Like, why would I, how much you get paid? Let me ask you, how much you get paid, first of all? What's your salary?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If someone came to you at your job and assumed that this is how much you should get, but without asking you how much you put in throughout your whole life, what your resume is, how hard and passionate you are to work to this moment, and then for it to be degraded by someone saying that you're worth this much, I think that's a goddamn insult.
I agree.
And I feel like there's a lot of, not just us in the game, but a lot of like dudes that have been in this 10, 20, 15 plus years that have been dealing with this. You know, because you have those low baller companies that are like, yo, listen, forget them. We'll throw in XYZ for like $500.
Yep.
But you know what? When shit hits the fan,
it ain't gonna work.
It ain't gonna work. You're gonna be scrambling. Your event's gonna get screwed, and you're gonna end up with nothing at the end of the night.
But see, you just told us about an internal issue within the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Now, imagine pairing that with the external issue that just arrived, the coronavirus.
Right.
Right. Now, imagine what that did to our industry.
And that's understandable.
Right. And no, understandable in the sense where it literally almost took some companies out of business.
Yeah.
Right? Because what's happening is people are ending up canceling events. And people are asking for deposits back.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue is that, you know, well, they're saying they're asking you for the deposit back, and you're saying, well, you can't give it back to them. But then their argument is, well, the Marriott's giving it back to them, the Hilton's giving it back to them, the Westin's giving it back to them. But guess what? We're not the Marriott, we're not the Hilton, and we're not the Westin. You know, we're a much smaller fish. You know, in terms of the cash flow, in terms of, you know, scale, we're not that level.
So would you think like you would be able to at least like credit it to a future event?
Absolutely. So what we're doing right now in M4U is where if you are postponing your event to another date, where credit that the amount you've given so far is credited towards that new date. And if you decide to completely cancel and say, hey, you know, screw this, I don't want to replan the wedding.
Right.
What we're doing is we're even allowing you to use that credit or transfer it to someone else for a future event.
Okay.
So you can either pocket the credit or so I mean, you know, we're lenient, right? But we're lenient to our capacity, right? Everyone's capacity is different, and I feel this is the most fair we can be. And I think it's important that people understand that, you know, this industry got hit hard. It's not only M4U, the whole industry. Everyone. I mean, not only the entertainment aspect, the food aspect, the photographers, videographers, decorators, everyone got hit. And, you know, I hope, you know, knock on wood, you know, everyone's doing fine. And, you know, they're ready for a comeback. But I truly believe that everyone's going to come back even stronger.
That's true.
You know,
that's the truth.
People are hungry for it. They're ready for it.
And that's if they come back. You know, there are going to be companies that close their doors, which is unfortunate. You know, I think what's nice that held us together is the combination of Powerhouse and M4U under one umbrella. You know?
Absolutely.
I think that sustained a lot of what we're going to be doing in 2021.
But isn't that crazy that, you know, some companies downsize or shut down, yet we did the complete opposite.
I mean, that's got to tell you something, right?
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
we actually re-strategized in 2020 for 2021.
Right.
That's a big goddamn statement. You know what I mean? So, like, a lot of you guys probably the clients will probably be, like, bumping heads where, listen, the Marriott had to reschedule us, but our vendors, they're not with us. But you know what? With PhD merging with M4U, we were able to accommodate for your future date.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So now, you know, when we got like 5-6 events going on one date, your one company can barely handle 2 that day. We're going to be able to handle at least 5-6.
And all with quality.
All with quality.
It's not like, and that's a misconception a lot of people have as well, where, you know, well, maybe M4U can only do 1 or 2 at high level, 1 or 2 at mid-level, 1 or 2. Absolutely not. You know, all of us are, you know, no matter how many years we all have experience of, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're giving out quality. Right. You know, and that's one of the reasons. I mean, you guys saw the genre challenge that we introduced with the DJs. You know, that's been posted and going to be posted every Monday. Aside from the first one, because that's going to be the
they're putting out some fire right now.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and there's a lot of heat, man.
Yeah, Hiral's up next.
These guys are ready.
Hey, man,
These guys are ready.
Pots and pans are smashing in the kitchen right now, man. I'm going there after this.
So the thing is, you know what? One thing people don't realize is that we don't have any events going on, but people are hustling in the back end. Yeah. You know, I mean, we still have our meetings. We're everyone is still putting in their work.
Where would you guys?
So we're prepping. We're prepping.
Everybody that listening out there, where would you?
Yeah.
You know, we're cooking in the kitchen.
We're cooking.
We're getting it heavy.
I don't know if they're ready, V.
Yo, man. I don't even know if I'm ready. Like, it's going to get lit. Oh, my God. You know how long I've been holding this goddamn voice down? For a whole goddamn year.
For a whole damn year.
You had me working at the goddamn bank now. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, V, we need you on the typing the keyboards and shit. No, but listen, guys. COVID affected all of us. Shout out to Paisley Room, Chapati, man. I know your business has gotten hit hard. I used to work with another company, but I still do. I show love to my man Bunty out XP DJs, Extreme Productions. Those guys are hit hard in Boston because there's only 2 companies out there, XP DJs and the BSL, Boston Sound and Lighting, and I don't even know how they're like keeping their head above the water, but that's just what COVID did to everybody. So I mean, like going forward in the future, how do you think 2021 is going to be with COVID? How do you think the dance floor is going to be, Ashish? How do you think the events are going to be?
I honestly think it all just comes down to the vaccination processes. You know, everybody's scrambling left and right trying to get a vaccine right now. You know, hopefully, you know, towards the end of this year, even going into summer this year, you know, a majority of the population will be vaccinated. And I think at that point, those dancers are just going to be packed. And
with the mask on?
And I would hope so. You know, I mean, you never know. I mean, you know, even events we do right now where it's like, you know, we try to emphasize it's so important to wear a mask, to sanitize and everything like that. You know, you still have a couple oddballs out there who just don't care.
I think the centerpiece should be replaced with a big-ass flower vase and a big-ass hand sanitizer vase.
Yeah, honestly, that's some truth right there. Yeah, I agree. But, I mean, you know, going back to it, I think the rest of this year, you know, people are tired of being in lockdown, of being in home, of not having nowhere to go, nowhere to hang out with their friends or things like that. And I think, you know, once the vaccines start rolling out a little bit more heavily, people are just going to be out there. They're going to be ready to party. They're going to be ready to go out every day. I think the industry is just going to really pop off. And I think there might eventually become such a high need that, you know, we're going to have to really keep up with it. Like, I think, Neil, you were saying earlier, like, we're getting requests left and right for this year and next year, right?
I actually was just on a call with a client right now talking to Hiral. And we're trying to get Hiral and Nick on that event. It's
nice.
And the thing is that obviously that the beauty event for you is that we have that volume, right? That quality volume. And another good thing is we have nice pairing, right? Every MC kind of has their go-to DJ. Not to say that, you know, that's the only vice versa, right? And not to say that's the only person they work with, but it's more so of something, you know, forming chemistry over time, right? Yeah. I know you work with Vic for the most part. He works with Nick for the most part. I work with Rex for the most part, and you work with Bundan for the most part. And I think it builds chemistry. Not to say that we can't work with each other's partners, right? I think we can all swap all the time.
Absolutely.
And but I think that's awesome. And I think another thing that, you know, is important to understand is the precautions that we're taking as a company, right, with COVID.
Right.
In terms of, you know, sanitation with our DJ booth,
with our distancing.
Yeah, with our distancing. Obviously, it's difficult for our MCs to have a mask on, but we have the mic covers now. You know, that's your favorite thing.
I love my mic covers. I wasn't allowed to have it today.
Especially the yellow ones, right?
I think we call them mic condoms, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Mic condoms.
We stay safe and we play safe.
Exactly.
Cool.
100%.
So yeah, we, you know, with the mic covers, and And then, having the DJs have been having the mask on at all times. We also are creating a plexiglass for the DJ booth. So we are taking our precautions as a company, right? Even our meetings are becoming virtual as well. If some people are comfortable meeting in person, we're meeting them in person. But yeah, I think a lot of people in our company have also taken the vaccine as well. So that, going back to your point, I think eventually people are going to have their vaccine.
Yeah. And I think it's also like important that we're not the only ones in the room. We have the caterers, we have the event staff, we have the photographers, videographers, and I think that it's also imperative that they should be taking precautions as well.
Absolutely.
Because we can't have our guys down.
Absolutely. And one thing that M4U and Chapati both do is we actually test our guys before we send them out, and then where we also test them when they get back as well. So that's important for clients to know too. For safety, right? For their safety as well, right? We don't want to be the liability of why someone gets the virus or someone gets sick. That's something that we as professionals need to be take seriously, and that's something that we do. And I think I take pride in the steps that we've created to be safe with our clients going forward.
Right.
Yeah.
So Hiral, what you think, man? I mean, like, with the increasing amount of events that are going to be coming up, like throughout the year, from starting like let's say April, even going to May, June. Do you feel worried?
We got a wedding next week in Florida.
Oh, yeah. Let me correct myself, fellas. Yeah. From the single events that we're having to the multiple bookings that we'll be incurring into the next few months. Hiral, do you feel worried at all?
I mean, there's always a little bit of worry in the back of my mind, but we can't stop living, right? We stopped living for a little, and we all know it's no fun.
Right.
But we had to do it. I think the world's set up a little bit better with the vaccinations out. Yeah. Now we know what COVID is. We know how it affects us. And I think we have that much more advantage now. Last year in May, I would have canceled the event, if the venues were still open. But this year in May, you think twice. Hey, you have 25% capacity. Why not? Put on your mask, maintain social distance, use the mic condoms, do what you need to, use sanitizer. But you can't stop the events from happening. If we stop that, then the world stops. And we know that life needs to go on.
Philosophical right there. I like that.
I mean, yes, we have to stay safe, but yes, we do need to progress.
Right.
I mean, we're also not forcing anyone to be in an uncomfortable position, right?
No.
If any of our guys are not comfortable, traveling or even working an event,
right?
We ask them,
because that's what I was actually concerned about, because you guys just went down to Florida, and if you look at the statistics, like Florida is not the prettiest state right now.
It's a whole nother world down there, I'll tell you. It's like coronavirus didn't even exist.
Dude, are they even wearing masks down there, bro?
I don't even want to talk on it, man.
Damn.
The wedding
itself, they did. Right? But when you're out, like if we're getting food or something like that, regardless of COVID restrictions, we're always going to make sure that we're putting our best foot out there. We're doing everything and everything we possibly can, to make sure the event is a success the same way it would have been a year ago.
All right, yo, listen, fellas, it was dope chatting with all y'all, getting your perspectives. This was the first ever M4U podcast, Masters of Controversies. We got a little bit of insight about who we are, what we do, how's COVID affected us in the industry. And, catch us next time. We're going to be live. We're going to be lit. Straight out from the Paisley Room. Shout out to Neil. Thank you for sponsoring us.
I just want to shout out my brother Meet from Video.
Yes, sir.
Taking care of all of our...
making this all happen.
Yeah, he's the exclusive photo video guy for M4U. So big shout out to Meet from Video.
Yes, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's M4U signing off tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, be safe, be straight.